You know, if you're feeling cooped up right now, I have a surefire cure. Hi, I'm Robert Aubrey Davis, and my around town best bet is the National Arboretum. You know, sometimes the thing that's in town and close gets neglected because, well, it's just there as one passes by on the way to something, and one can feel like it's part of the local furniture. But the National Arboretum is a wealth of guaranteed greenery. The Gotelli conifer collection, the holly and magnolia walks, even in the stunning Fern Valley, and the National Bonsai and Penjing Museum will definitely put some spring in your step. But there's one thing here that none of the other amazing arboretums or botanical gardens has: the National Capitol columns. But how did they get there? Huge stone columns needed to be brought up to Capitol Hill to support the dome to come in for our own familiar structure. But when they finally got the huge iron dome on top of the U.S. Capitol in 1864, the thing was too big and the columns looked, well, unsupported. Everybody lived with it until 1958, when the addition on the east side fixed the support system, but that meant the beautiful Corinthian columns just had to go. Until the 1980s, when Ethel Garrett approached her old friend, landscape designer Russell Page, about finding a home for the columns at the National Arboretum. Page visited the Arboretum in September 1984, only months before his death, and found the perfect site for them on the east side of the ellipse. He felt the grandeur of the columns would be in scale with the more than 20 acres of open meadow, where they now rest on a foundation made from steps that were also once located on the east side of the Capitol. Look carefully. Old identification marks from the quarry are still visible on some of the stones. And as the Arboretum lyrically reports, a reflecting pool feeds a small rivulet of water that runs down a channel on the steps, reflecting the columns and provides sound and movement. And all that gets me as close as I will ever get to being a columnist, I promise you. With Around Town Best Bets, I'm Robert Aubrey Davis. Thank you for watching.
For more Around Town Best Bets, visit us online at weta.org/bestbets.